This is the week that football turns into hiring. Not metaphorically, literally. Yep. Shrine Bowl, Senior Bowl, Combine season is around the corner. And if you're a player or a parent, this is where the process starts feeling enormous.
So tonight, I just made everything shake. So tonight, we're giving you the full map. Because when you understand the pipeline A to Z, chaos turns into a plan. And yes, Tuesday morning is the Shrine Fast Break. Friday morning is the Senior Bowl Fast Break. And tonight is the blueprint that's going to make both of those hit harder. Welcome back to the AAA Ball and Play podcast. I'm Lee.
Hey, I'm Michael.
We mix athlete advocacy, sports business, and the legal stuff you actually need without fake guru energy and without the nonsense. Well, maybe there's a little nonsense, but I don't want to do the disclaimer. Quick, you go ahead. Do you say the disclaimer?
All right, y'all. Quick disclaimer. This episode is for educational and informational purposes only. This is not legal advice. It does not create an attorney-client relationship, and it is not an agent solicitation. Every situation is very fact-specific. Talk to your school compliance officer or office and qualified professionals for your facts. Here's the promise. By the end of this episode, you'll know what to expect at each stage, what scouts are looking for, how to stay compliant, and how to prepare for the life-changing phone call.
Because the journey from college football to NFL draft is an extensive, almost year-long process filled with crucial milestones. And for a college athlete and their family aiming to play professionally, understanding this pipeline is empowering and it's essential. So we're going to walk through every phase: game tape evaluations, all-star showcases, combines, and pro days, all the way through draft weekend. And we'll highlight what repeats each year and how you navigate it.
Let's start where the real process begins. Film.
Your tape is your first resume. Scouts evaluate your performance all season long. Your athleticism, technique, consistency, your football IQ, and how you handle adversity. And here's the key. Everything that comes later is either confirmation or correction of what they've already seen.
Meaning the combine doesn't magically create a prospect.
It validates what's already on film. And if there are questions on film, like speed, your bend, play strength, processing, route detail, lateral quickness, teams use the next stage to answer those questions.
And now we hit late January, all-star season.
Which is where we are right now, right? So the East-West Shrine Bowl and is it still the Reese's Senior Bowl? Did you tell me it was the Panini Senior Bowl now? Okay, so in the Panini Senior Bowl are the two most prestigious postseason all-star games for NFL hopefuls. They bring select draft-eligible players together, primarily seniors, not senior citizens, seniors in high school, plus a few graduated juniors to showcase their skills in front of hundreds of NFL coaches, scouts, and executives.
Key dates matter this week.
Mm-hmm. For 2026, the East-West Shrine Bowl is Tuesday, January 27th, 2026, back at home for me. It's in Frisco, Texas. And the Senior Bowl follows on January 31st, 2026. I believe that's Saturday, right?
Mm-hmm.
In Mobile, Alabama. So those dates kick off the official NFL draft season.
And the part fans miss, it's not just a game.
No, it's not. During Shrine and Senior Week, players go through several days of practices and interviews before the game. And the practices are actually where most of the critical evaluations happen. Scouts love to see how players handle pro-style coaching, how they learn new plays, and compete against top-tier peers in drills.
Those one-on-ones tell the truth.
Exactly. One-on-one drills, wide receivers versus defensive backs, or offensive versus defensive linemen can significantly influence a player's draft stock. Teams are watching, right? Can a small school prospect hold up against a Power 5 talent? Does the heralded star continue to shine among all the other all-stars?
So what's the headline?
So why it matters. These showcases are often dubbed the first step in the draft process, because they are, right? The Senior Bowl even uses the slogan, "The draft starts in Mobile," and for good reason. A strong showing can vault a player's projection upward. And by projection, we mean, are you going to be first round, second round? Struggles raise red flags that teams will scrutinize further.
And the guide gives receipts here.
Yes, and when Michael's talking about the guide, he's talking about a guide that we wrote that outlines for players and their families this entire process. So anytime through this podcast we refer to the guide, we're referring to the ball and play guide that we wrote to help potential NFL players. So in the 2025 draft, so last year's, 106 Senior Bowl players were drafted, 50 of them in the first 3 rounds. And almost every player at the Senior Bowl earned an NFL roster spot either via the draft or as a free agent. And the Shrine Bowl has a storied history. Legends like Tom Brady and, oh my goodness, one of my favorite players, Walter Payton, once played in it. And it remains the nation's longest running college all-star game.
Okay, so what do prospects do with that?
If you're invited, and you have to be invited, you need to treat it as a job interview in pads. Arrive in top shape. Absorb coaching quickly. Play hard and smart. Teams are watching how you practice, how you interact with teammates, and how you handle instruction. Even if you don't make every play, showing competitiveness, resilience, and coachability leaves a positive impression.
And if you don't get invited?
It's not a death sentence. Plenty of draft picks come from outside these events. You just need to start focusing on training for the next opportunities, the combine or pro day. Now we get to the part where families accidentally step on a landmine.
Declaring and representation. For underclassmen, a crucial early step is declaring for the draft. The NFL's rule is you must be at least 3 years out of high school to be draft eligible. For the 2026 draft, the underclassmen deadline is January 14th, was January 14th, 2026.
So seniors?
Seniors and players who exhausted eligibility are automatically eligible and do not need to declare. But for underclassmen, declaring is serious because under the NCAA rules, it generally ends your college playing career.
NCAA rules. I'm scoffing at that. So anyway, so there's that narrow withdrawal window that you can hear people mention. It's been in a lot of tweets and articles right now.
Yes. There's a very narrow NCAA window for football players to withdraw and retain eligibility. But as a practical matter, it's rarely used.
Yeah.
Rule of thumb. Once you decide to go pro, assume that chapter is closed. Make the decision with family and coaches, ideally after feedback from the NFL's advisory panel about your projected range.
Yes. So now the agent part, and we're agents, so this is important, but this is super important for the players. So, Michael?
This is critical, as a matter of fact. Under NCAA bylaws, a student athlete cannot have an agent represent them or even agree to represent them in the future until their college eligibility is finished. No signing and not even a verbal agreement while you still have eligibility. The rule is very strict. If you agree orally or in writing to let someone represent you for marketing your athletic ability, you become ineligible for NCAA competition.
And extra benefits?
Also not allowed. No gifts, no money, no valuable favors. So, to avoid jeopardizing your eligibility, do not sign with or take anything of value from an agent until you are done playing college football.
So once you're done, Michael, what does a good agent do?
Well, a competent and ethical agent guides draft prep, advocates with NFL teams, helps manage training and interviews, and negotiates your first contract if you are drafted or signed. You should seek an agent certified by the NFLPA, and only NFLPA certified contract advisors can negotiate NFL contracts.
Right. And the guide is pretty blunt. The guide we wrote is pretty blunt about the money.
That it is, but you don't need to pay an agent up front.
Right.
Their fee is a percentage of the NFL contract you sign if you make one. But beware of anyone asking for money up front.
Yeah, if an agent's asking you for money up front, you need to find a different agent. So now let's talk about the SPARTA piece.
SPARTA, that's the Sports Agent Responsibility and Trust Act.
Yes.
Plus related state laws. So agents are prohibited from providing anything of value during recruitment, and they must be truthful. No false promises and no misleading information. Yeah. If an agent promises guaranteed draft selection or offers under the table gifts, they're not just risking your eligibility, they're also breaking federal law.
Yeah.
So steer clear. Legitimate agents, on the other hand, provide a full disclosure statement before you sign, warning that signing an agency contract can end NCAA eligibility, and SPARTA requires that so. And once you sign, the agent must notify your university athletic director within 72 hours of signing that contract.
Okay, so what to do for players?
If you're an underclassman, don't rush declaring. Use evaluation feedback. Maintain eligibility until you're sure. No agent agreements, no extra benefits. Once ready, interview multiple agents. Ask about experience. Talk to current or former players. A good agent discusses how to improve draft stock without making unrealistic guarantees. And they should be knowledgeable about NCAA and SPARTA rules.
And state laws. Absolutely about state laws. So,
and many states have athlete agent laws requiring registration. Reputable agents handle it properly. And if anyone is pressuring you or offering improper benefits, involve your compliance office. Protecting student athletes is the point of these regulations.
It's supposed to be, yes.
Okay. After declaring and signing, the next phase is training.
Draft preparation kicks off early January after bowl season. Your goal is to improve performance in key tests, heal injuries, and get mentally ready.
This is where those big training facilities come in.
So many prospects relocate to training centers that specialize in preparing athletes for the combine and pro days. There's Exos, IMG, and others. They provide strength and conditioning, nutritionists, physical therapists, and sometimes position-specific coaches. Over 6 to 8 weeks, players work on 40-yard dash technique, which is one of the big tests, bench press reps for the 225 test, agility drills like the shuttle and the 3-cone.
And health is a big theme.
Equally important is addressing injuries and weaknesses. Some prospects have surgeries or rehabs right after the season so they can be healed by the combine or pro day. The combine includes a very thorough medical examination, so you and your agent want you as healthy as possible.
Plus nutrition and recovery.
So now your full-time job is preparing for the NFL. Meal plans for shedding weight, adding muscle, maintaining condition, rest and recovery sessions, even sports psychology for mental readiness.
Some players prep for cognitive tests like Wonderlic-style exams because intelligence and decision-making are part of the evaluation. And if you're doing All-Star Week, training has to flex.
Yep. Train a couple of weeks, break for the All-Star event, then resume training leading up to the combine. If you get banged up at the All-Star game, though, you need to prioritize recovery.
And what are teams doing during this time?
Well, the teams are reviewing film and reports. They're formulating specific questions or drills they want to see at combine or pro day based on what they saw or didn't see in college. So your training should fill gaps in the scout's picture of you.
Now the famous one, ND.
So the NFL Scouting Combine is a 4-day invitation-only showcase where roughly 300 to 330 top prospects go through exhaustive testing. For 2026, it's February 23rd through March 2nd at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis. It's televised, it's hyped, but it is a grueling job interview in athletic gear.
Break down what happens.
So first, it's orientation and measurements, height, weight, arm length, your hand size, official numbers in front of scouts.
Second, medical exams, arguably most important for teams. Comprehensive physicals, imaging, follow-ups, doctors testing past injuries. Teams invest millions so they can leave no stone unturned.
Yes, and after the combine, teams share medical findings league-wide. It's not just for their team. And if there's a serious concern, a player might be called back for a recheck in early April.
And interviews.
Oh, yes. Teams conduct formal interviews up to 60 per team at 15 minutes each. They ask about your football knowledge, whiteboard, diagnose, explain the schemes, plus personal background, hypotheticals, and your character.
There are also informal chats and standardized psychological and intelligence tests.
Yeah.
They're evaluating maturity, intelligence, honesty, and culture fit.
So now the testing that everybody watches. Athletic testing and drills, the 40-yard dash, your bench, vertical, broad, 3-cone, shuttle, position drills. The goal is confirming physical skills. Do your movements match what they've seen on film?
And then there's also composure. The schedule is tough. Scouts notice who stays poised and who doesn't. They observe how you interact, how you compete, whether you show confidence without arrogance. And the guide has a what to do here as well.
Yep. If you're invited to the combine, you need to take it seriously. You need to arrive in peak shape. You need to rest. You need to prepare for the grind. You need to listen closely to directions because they're looking at coachability. In interviews, be truthful. Teams often already know the background and they're just testing to see if you're going to be honest. Be on time for everything and compete with yourself, not others. If you underperform, don't panic. Pro day can be a second chance.
And if you don't get invited?
Well, don't be discouraged. Teams find talent everywhere. Your focus needs to just shift if you're not invited to find your pro day.
Pro day is basically the personalized combine.
Exactly. A pro day is a school run workout for NFL scouts, typically in March. The NFL calendar sets aside mid-March through early April for pro days. Smaller school prospects may attend a larger nearby pro day or a regional event.
Pro days mirror combine drills, measurements, bench, the 40, jumps, shuttles, position drills. There's flexibility to highlight strengths. A QB scripts a throwing session with his own receivers. For many prospects, it's the only time scouts see them live.
And scouts share results. So even if only a handful attend, verified results get shared across teams. One team falling in love is enough.
Differences versus combine.
So home turf comfort, scheduling control, teammate timing, but scouts can be skeptical of numbers. Hand time 40s, fast tracks, perfect conditions, the scouts are going to automatically, informally adjust for that.
What to do?
Well, treat pro day like the Super Bowl of your individual process, especially if you didn't get to go to the combine in Indy. Practice at the same time of day and on the same surface if possible. Coordinate a drill script that shows anything you didn't get to show at the combine. Be flexible for special requests, and after pro day, stay accessible. Follow-up interviews and private workouts are what often happen next.
Now we hit the final evaluations phase.
Yes. So by late March into early April, teams are doing private workouts, interviews outside the combine, and official team visits. Private workouts are tailored they're tailored to answer specific questions. A quarterback throwing script, a receiver route combos, a back catching volume, a lineman snapping if they're considering position flexibility. These are all a good sign. They show real interest, but they can be exhausting.
Interviews continue via phone, Zoom, in person. Teams may send playbook snippets and ask you to teach it back. These test football IQ and passion. Professionalism also matters. All right, be on time, be presentable, treat video meetings like real meetings.
Yes. Then there's the top 30 visits. Teams can bring up to 30 prospects to their facilities. It's often a full day with staff meetings, more interviews, medical rechecks, psychological and aptitude tests. It's about FaceTime and final impressions.
And deadlines.
Yes, the April deadlines matter. April 15th, 2026, besides being tax day, is the last day teams can host prospects at club facilities for visits, physicals, workouts, and interviews. And then, Michael, what's April 22nd?
April 22nd is the last day for any prospect interview /workout /testing anywhere. Yep. The first half of April can be a travel whirlwind, so to speak.
Yes.
And Lee, what are teams evaluating at this point?
Well, now it's more about intangibles and fit. There's scenario questions like, what if you're not playing right away? How do you handle criticism? They want to see maturity, attitude, and a culture fit.
They envision you in the locker room. If there's any off-field story, they look for accountability, growth, humility, and perspective. And what should players do?
Well, they've got to treat each visit like a final job interview. Research the team, the scheme, the staff, the roles. Be respectful, of course, to everyone, the travel coordinators too, because if two players are graded similarly, the one who left the better impression is going to be the one that gets picked.
Okay. Draft weekend time.
All right. So the 2026 NFL Draft is April 23rd through 25th, 2026 in Pittsburgh. Day 1 is round 1. Day 2 is rounds 2 and 3. And day 3 is rounds 4 through 7. There's usually around 259 picks total, give or take.
Some prospects are invited to attend in person, mostly early first round expectations, and it's iconic. But it can also be nerve-wracking if you slide.
Yes. Now, many prospects will be at home with their family and their agent. That's totally normal.
Can you explain the phone call reality?
So if you're watching the draft and your phone rings and it's an unknown number, it might be the general manager or the head coach. We're on the clock and we're about to make you a member of our team. You express excitement, you have quick words, and then the team staff handles the next step, the media call, travel, press conference.
And if you don't get drafted?
Then it's still not over, right? Then UDFA begins, undrafted free agent, and it's a frenzy. Immediately after the final pick, teams call to sign players they liked but didn't draft. Now, UDFA can be advantageous. You can choose a depth chart that gives you a better shot at playing. Offers are typically a 3-year undrafted rookie deal with a small signing bonus. It's hectic. You need to lean on your agent's advice. Bonus indicates desire, but fit and opportunity are what matters most.
And this is where families need a pep talk right here. Draft weekend can be anxiety-inducing. Don't fixate on every pick.
If you're a day 3 expectation, enjoy day 1 and 2 casually. As tensions rise, do what keeps you composed. Take a walk, step outside, keep a light moment. When the name is called, celebrate. But remember, rookie minicamp is soon. The call is not the finish line, it's the starting gun.
What to do and not to do during draft weekend?
Well, number 1, keep your phone charged, and this is not the time to put it on silent, so keep it on loud. No prank calls. That was ridiculous last year. We're not going to go there. Tell your friends not to be idiots. Step away from the noise to answer, and go easy on social media. Emotions run high, and you don't want a frustration post living forever.
Now the don't ruin your own life section.
Look, staying compliant matters because the biggest risk are unintentionally violating NCAA amateurism rules or falling prey to unethical agent tactics.
And here are some core rules. Number 1, don't sign with an agent or even verbally agree until your season is over. Secondly, don't accept benefits or gifts from agents or runners while you're an NCAA agent. Next up, choose only NFLPA certified representation for contract negotiations. Number 4, watch for bad actor recruiting. That is guaranteed promises, under-the-table perks, and pressure tactics. And finally, SPARTA requires disclosures before signing and notice to your athletic director within 72 hours.
If you feel pressured or feel something shady involving compliance, that's what it's there for. So,
okay, quick checklist, the roadmap.
All right. So, and this checklist is also in the guide we were referencing earlier. So, but here's the step-by-step feel of it. The season ends. You recover, you meet with family, you start evaluating your next steps. You've got the declaring deadline for underclassmen, which is a mid-January decision. Then representation, interview agents, verify credentials, and avoid the upfront fee nonsense. And then it's training, 6 to 8 weeks focused on testing, health, and interviews.
All-star games, practices plus interviews matter most. Then you have the combine, measurements, medical interviews, testing, pro day, your day to shine, second chance on your terms, interviews, workouts, and visits. All right, scheme fit, IQ, maturity, and culture.
And then it's draft weekend. You need to be ready for the call and the travel. And then if you're an UDFA, fast decisions, fit matters, and opportunity matters.
Tuesday morning, we're dropping the Shrine Fast Break, focusing on what actually moves the needle. Practices, one-on-ones, interview moments, learning speed, coachability, job interview and pads. And we'll also remind you to catch our Legal Watch updates later because the sports world never stops being litigated.
And then Friday morning is Michael's Senior Bowl fast break. The draft starts in mobile angle, why that week moves boards, what teams are really checking for, and how prospects can win the week without chasing highlights.
That's the blueprint.
Stay focused on what you can control, lean on knowledgeable advisors, and keep faith in your abilities.
We'll see you all Tuesday morning for the Shrine Week and Friday for Senior Bowl Week.
And remember, the call is not the finish line, it's the starting gun. You're listening to the AAA Ball and Play podcast. Quick note, this is for education and entertainment. Nothing here is legal, tax, or financial advice, and nothing we say creates an athlete-agent relationship. Listening or contacting us does not make us your lawyers or your agents. For advice, talk to a qualified professional in your state.